Good day. Not sure if you can see Mr. Frog. Look, happy days. This is in our upturned compost bin lid pond at the corner of the plot, and surrounded by wildflowers and clearly a happy frog. It's sitting on a brick and it seems quite happy. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I'm not sure if you can see. Oh, sorry about that. Am I in the right place? Oh, I'm not sure I'm in the right place. Yeah, there in the middle. That's another one. Wow. Rather happy to have two froggies in there. Oh, three froggies. Oh, stop getting excited, Paul. Though, of course, the reality is, how could you not get excited about that? I mean, that upturned compost bin lid pond, I thought was a bit of a goner this year. I didn't think we'd have any frogs in it. And there's three, you know, at least three who are quite happy in there. I've just had a really good look in our above ground washing up bowl pond and the below ground washing up pond. There's two in the below ground ones basking on the water surface, and there's three in the above ground one basking at the top of the water, most probably on some weed or something. So how could you not get excited about things like that? I mean, you know, I just can't not get excited. And then I come in here to tell you how excited I am about it, to find that there's two frogs in the polytunnel, which I'm really happy about, because hopefully they will be eating any slugs or snails that want to have a go at any of our crops. So yeah, happy days. I did my annual job on Sunday, I think it was, of swapping out our trays with holes in for our gravel trays without holes in. And maybe I did it a little bit early this year, because as you can see, we've got water in each of these trays. Shall I? No, I'm just gonna tip the water out. We're due more rain later anyway, but I think I'm just going to tip the water out. But I think I've got in there a little bit early this year with this change, or it's simply because I haven't been watching the weather forecast as much as I usually do. Maybe if I'd looked at the weather forecast, I'd have known that we were going to have quite a bit of rain overnight. And in fact, we're due further rain now. It should have started about an hour and a half ago, but we haven't had any yet, which is actually rather lovely, because as I said the other day, the warmth and the rain is really doing a lot to get everything really overgrown. I do want to sort this area out here and tidy it up, and over here, but I'm going to leave this area because this is where we have, I think, a nest of hedgehogs. I can't quite see in to see whether there is a nest there, but I have seen I've seen two hedgehogs trundling through that area on several occasions over the last few weeks. So I'm quite happy for hedgehogs to trundle about. But yeah, if it isn't raining tomorrow, I'll have to get the strimmer out again. Just over a week from the last time I did it. This is our carrot bed. We've also got lettuce over there. and we've got pretty decent germination in our carrots, and I'm particularly pleased that we've got good germination in these 2 rows, because this is our own save seed of London market carrots. Over here we've got Amsterdam forcing, and over here we've got Nantes, which there seems to be lower germination in the Nantes. But what I'm also noticing in the middle of the screen there, and it might look like another clump of carrots, but that is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volunteer tomatoes coming up. So having sown those extra Chaddocky, was it Chaddocky? Anyway, the extra cherry tomatoes that I got from Shaz the other day, I then looked here the next day and found that there were these volunteer tomatoes coming up. So I'll certainly have enough tomatoes to keep us through this shorter growing season than normal. Little bit of couch grass over there, and a bit of weeding to do as well. You want to make sure, particularly at this time of year where everything is growing so rapidly, that where you can keep on top of the weeds, you do. I think I'll be taking those tomatoes out in the couple of days and potting them on individually. Just a quick catch up on a few things today. I came down here because I have shown paddock plots to a person on the waiting list, and they have decided that they're going to take one of the paddock plots. It's actually someone who had a plot here up to about 2 years ago, and then it was a bit too much for them. So what I said is, when we get the paddock plots going, would you like to be considered to come back? And this person said yes. So I've shown them the plot, and they have said that they wish to take it, which is great. We've got another 3 prior plot holders here who are going to come and look at the paddock plots. So again, those 3 vacated in the last 2 years, in fact the last year for those 3, and hopefully they will take up a plot there. And then we've got another 8 which are going to be offered out to the community gardens, and then offered out to the list, the external waiting list. So we will have to wait and see how quickly we can get those going. But there's lots of questions that have come up as I've been showing the potential plot holder around. There's been lots of questions that have come up, and that's going to help shape the further information that I do for plot holders, particularly as of the paddock plots, because they're much smaller than our plots on this side, if you like, and therefore there's a few idiosyncrasies that need to be ironed out. But I'm going to leave it there for today, and I am going to enjoy the sunshine, at least until it gets rainy. See you very soon. Oh, I haven't turned the calendar yet. I haven't turned it from April to May. Let's do that now, and I'll say goodbye. Bye. Good day. I'm beginning to harden off these cucumbers and courgettes. Courgettes are the larger ones on the left, and cucumbers, the smaller ones, on the right. And yeah, I think it's time to bring these out in the morning and then pop them back as late as possible at night. I mean, when the sun is going down, obviously. So that's what I'm doing. And the thing is, they'll get the breeze out here and they'll strengthen, which is really, really important. And of course, they'll get used to the outside temperatures. Even though the inside of the polytunnel is pretty ambient, during the daytime when the sun is out, it can get quite warm. So yeah, time to start hardening these off. I've also got the strimmer out of the shed, the less decrepit shed than it used to be, and I'm about to take that home because the grass at home needs strimming. Yeah, I mean, the grass here absolutely needs trimming too. Job done. I need to get a pair of scissors and just do some cutting around a cyclamen that is in our lawn. We leave it grow, but we just cut the grass around it. But yeah, that's job done, and I think it already looks neater. And now to clean the strimmer and then take it back to the allotment where I'll let it dry out in the sun, most probably actually in the poly today because we're likely to get some showers. And then when I go back down there later, I'll give the strimmer another clean, so brushing off any of the dry grass that still remains. Right, I will see you another day for another segment of A Week at the Plot. Bye. Good day, all parakeet. Saturday morning. It's very quiet down here, but not for long because I'm going to be strimming, and then it'll go back to being quiet again. I mean, look, it really does need strimming, and I only did this, what was that, 10 days ago, maybe a fortnight. I mean, just look. I mean, I know I'm leaving some areas like the wildflower border bed, which has now been renamed to the wildflower border bed, as they are. I will pull some of that grass though. But look, I know I've said it so many times, but that heat and wetness and warmth. But look, this is dried out a bit. Why is that dried out a bit? Not sure, but you can see how these are developing flowers, which is fabulous. That's where I strimmed up to the other day as part of our wildlife corridor at the back here. But yeah, look, oh, so much to do. But there's other things I need to do as well, like pricking out tomatoes. But I'm hoping to be down here for a few hours today. I think we're doing Sunday chat as a live tomorrow in the afternoon. So hopefully I'll be able to get down here, well, do a couple of hours now and then get down here later. I won't get onto all of this grass around the apple tree today, but everything else will get a good strim. And of course I'll be putting my hands down whilst the strimmer's not around. I'll be putting my hands down into areas like this and the edging here to make sure there are no frogs or anything before I strim. Gosh, look at this. This doesn't look like what I thought it was. It's looking as though it's coming up yellow. I thought that was Nigella, but maybe not. Oh, yeah, lots to do, lots to do. And if I can, I'm hoping to take out one of the beds of brassicas today, or the brassicas that have gone over in this bed, or these two beds in fact. Whether they'll come out today or tomorrow, I'm not sure, but yeah. And then further weeding in this additional brassica bed from which we can start harvesting. God, look at that enormous doodah. Why have I forgotten that? Oh, mullein. What's its common word? Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, mullein. And I'm not sure if you can hear, but there is a woodpecker pecking away. It's clearly building a hole in a tree because it's been pecking away for about 10 days now. About every 30 seconds, minute, something like that. As you can most probably also hear, we do have Heathrow planes going over, and even though they're a bit diffused today, the sound is really there because it's low cloud at the moment, so it sort of sits below the cloud. Anyway, yeah, stuff to do. The poppies are certainly growing. Maybe I was wrong to put beetroot in here. Can you see that? Put beetroot there. But of course, once the stalks start growing higher, that will be clearing the ground, or there won't be leaf at the ground level, or so much leaf at the ground level. Well, that's what I'm telling myself anyway. And yes, we have quite a plethora, you can see movement maybe in there, of frogs. You see that very little one basking on the top of the water there. You see it move. Oh, and there's another one there, just jumped in. Happy frogs. I'm obviously happy to see them. And we still have skanky water frog as well in here. It's come back. Anyway, Paul, strim and get on with things. I have strimmed and raked, and I've raked things into piles, you can see there, and over here. It's amazing how long the grass is still, generally, but that's fine, that's fine. There are other days to get things done. But yeah, so all the grass that I've raked, so over here you can see that I've raked this pile into my plot, so it's not on the path, so no one will trip over this. And nobody should be coming on my plot, so they shouldn't trip over this. But, oh, there's a big plane going over. Let me just pause for a moment. When I was strimming this area, which I know has frogs in it, particularly at the end here and under here, I saw one jump here, so I decided to give it a rest. On the strimming, I think the frog has gone now, but yeah, I was almost at 2 batteries by then anyway, so that was fine. Lots more work to do, but I'm going to go home and have some lunch now, and then I'll catch up with you later. Oh, look. Gonna have to cover these. lots of gooseberries. Need to cover that. Anyway, I will see you in an hour or so. In the middle there, in a line of carrots, we've got some volunteer tomatoes. So I'm going to take those out now to pot them up. Six, 7. These are the tomatoes I'm going to be pricking out today. These are the ones I've just pulled out from the carrot bed. Obviously I have no idea what variety these are. They could be some of ours that we grew last year. They could be Brad's Atomic Grape, which I call Brad's Atomic Kitten. They could be Amish Paste. They could be a Cherokee. They could be anything. So they could be from somebody else's plot even, and just being carried over by a magpie or by a squirrel, or you know, a bird that pooped seeds or something. Then over here we've got Guernsey Islands, and you can see that they've got true leaves coming. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. And then at the front here we've got black crim. There are 7 there as well, though there's 2 very small seedlings, and I'm not going to prick those out today. I'll do those in a few, maybe in a week's time. But all of these taller ones and these are all being pricked out, and they're going into these pots, my usual pots. And I think these are 9cm pots, but they're that size, if you see what I mean. Okay, so I'm just going to get on and do that, and I've got my labels here which I'm going to need to write up to make sure I label everything correctly. Right, gloves on, and then I will show you them when they are potted up. That's these all pricked out and potted up. Well, in the case of these volunteer tomatoes, they were just teased apart and potted up. And in fact, there's some very small ones here and here. So we've got 9 of the volunteer, which you can see I've put a question mark on. We've got 7 of the Guernsey Island, GI. And over at the back there, we've got 7 black crim. I did decide to prick out and pot on these 2 really small ones. And we have the Chadwick cherry here. No germination in that yet. They only went in, I think, was that the beginning of this week or Sunday? And Lollo Rosso lettuce, which I'll be pricking out, I think, this week. And the Hottentot figs there. So yeah, pleased to have got these done. And I think, what's that, 7, 16 plus 7, 23. I mean, I was looking for, I think, 12 this year. So I'll certainly have some to sell at our gate sale as plants in just over a month's time. This side is looking much neater. I put this seed tray here upside down to basically dry out. So yeah, I've strimmed around, but there's areas that I have left. I haven't done anything here yet, but I have seen a trail going through here, so I think that may be a hedgehog trail. It looks too small for a fox trail, so it's most probably a hedgehog trail. And of course these, I've realized, I think are chamomile. I think these are from the chamomile that we sowed last year. You'll remember that last year, well, if you've been watching us, you may remember that last year I sowed sunflowers, which was is the national flower of Ukraine, and I also sowed chamomile, which is the national flower of Russia, and these have come back. We've also got some in amidst here. We've got some sunflowers coming back, and we've also got some sunflowers coming up in the carrot bed, which I think I'm going to leave. Though I think I'll look in my seed box, and if I've got more sunflower seeds, I will sow some more. I'm going to be leaving the plot soon. I'm about to pack up. So I brought these courgettes and cucumbers that have been hardening off outside on the bench today back into the poly, and then they'll be going out to do further hardening off tomorrow. I'm going to leave it there for this week's A Week at the Plot. I feel I've had quite a good day down here today. I might have only been here for about 4 hours, but I've done quite a bit of what I wanted to get done, particularly sorting out those tomatoes and and strimming. And I have to say, I found so many frogs when I was doing my checking with my fingers. There were quite a few, and of course I moved them sort of into the middle of where I wasn't going to strim. And I also put out a note on our group, our WhatsApp group here, saying that if you are a strimmer, please remember to go in with your hands, and the machine turned off, go in with your hands first to make sure that any wildlife can be moved on. Because, you know, the wildlife that we have, those frogs, any hedgehogs that you may have, they're eating the slugs and snails that we don't want to eat our plants. So, yeah. Another plane going over. It's been quite a plane day today. It's funny, sometimes we get very, very few, but today there seems to have been one about every 3 or 4 minutes taking off. And there's about 7 takeoff paths, but the airline can choose exactly which takeoff path they wish to take. And then traffic control takes over at 2,000 feet. So it feels as though the airlines have said, let's go over Billet's Heart allotments today. That's what it feels like. But anyway, there we are. When I'm getting on and doing things, they don't really interfere with me, if you like. They just might interfere with your viewing if they appear too much. Anyway, I am going to leave it there, and I am going to leave you with a lovely aquilegia in our back garden. I took the footage on Thursday when I was doing the back garden, strimming the back garden, and it was just so beautiful in the sunlight. I took some quick video of it then, so I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to go home now for a cup of tea. I think Richard was going to be in the garden weeding shortly after I left, so I'll most probably be making him a chamomile tea. See you very soon, and do let us know what you've got growing, and whatever you do have growing, I hope it's doing well. See you very soon. Bye.